Hey everyone, down here in the catacombs at Primetime Treasure headquarters, going to start this off with a be on the lookout item. A great piece right here that just sold for $41.25. This is a Leapfrog Fridge DJ. Now, if you have any kind of older Leapfrog toys around, even newer ones, that you might have picked up at a garage sale or estate sale, rummage sale, definitely get these things listed because a lot of people need something like this to entertain their kids. I was just watching family videos on Mother's Day with Mrs. Primetime and the kids, and the amount of time that they spent playing with these Leapfrog toys, not only this one, but I've also sold one called the Word Whammer, where they stick these little letters into these slots and it plays all these different sounds and tunes. And then there's another one that we had with farm animals that you stick the front and the back of the farm animal inside. They're like magnetized pieces. And I sold that one as well. And these things generally sell fast, just to demonstrate how it works. And I'm gonna put this on, but I'm not sending it out with the batteries in it. I just like to take photographs of the screen lighting up. So that's a little photo tip. I always say, if something's electronic, show that it works. It helps increase the chance that you're going to make the sale. But let me just show you this.
It's your fridge DJ. The tunes are tight and the learning is right. Let's get grooving.
So, and it plays songs and stuff like that. I thought I was going to sing Old MacDonald or something. Anyway, so it's a great piece, great type of item. I had it up for $47.50. Person offered me $30. I declined it. Person offered me $35. I countered in the middle at $41.25, and the person purchased it. So just show you sometimes the negotiation strategies that I use. I had it priced at the highest end of the market. There were many others available. The problem with them is the condition on them was really bad. So I knew I had it priced just about right, and I was willing to take a little bit off to make the deal. Nice $40+ sale to start the day. All right, another item just sold, and a little tip for you. It's going to come off the top shelf here. This has to do with items that you could pick up at amusement parks, theme parks, places like Disney World, Disneyland, Universal Studios. You know about the souvenirs you get in gift shops, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that you would just buy during the normal course of your day, maybe to eat or drink, and you normally maybe throw out the receptacle or something like that. Now, if it's just a plain white receptacle or a plain cup, yes, of course, throw it out. But if there's something potentially collectible about it, hold on to it if you can, because you may be able to sell it down the road. Let me show you right here. This is just an empty water bottle. It's Gilly water. It comes from the Harry Potter area of Universal Studios. And so this one sold for $9.99, so a $10 sale for an empty thing of water that I've just been holding on to and just had in another room just displaying it. And so now I just figured, all right, we'll just list it, see if I can get my money back after 4 years at Universal Studios. So haha, Disney, finally got my money back. All right, so keep in mind that even though we might view this as just a water bottle, to somebody else, this is a collectible that they want to display somewhere. So it's very important that it doesn't arrive damaged, which is easily something that could happen if you make the mistake of sending it out in a poly mailer. So don't do that. So what do I have this nestled in? I have it inside a sturdy eBay 12x6x6 box. I highly recommend these. They're awesome for bottles and also for things like beer taps. Most beer taps will fit in here nicely as well. I don't have this listed, but if anyone likes Labatt Blue and wants this, let me know. Anyway, you can see here, I have that wrapped in small bubbles, and then on top, I just have these thicker bubbles that I just protect it with here, and then just put a little more fill on there, and then we just put it on the scale, and it still keeps it at less than 16 ounces, which is exactly what we need to be able to send it out first class. There you go. Okay, so a few things I want to show you with regards to these booties by Vince Camuto that I showed yesterday. I showed you when I pulled them out of Primetime Treasure shed quarters. Well, here you can see the final version of the listing here. You can see it really pops nice with that white background. The first picture I have showing them with the box, because if someone is scrolling down, you want to make sure that the first picture they see, if they're looking for something new in box, has the box in it. You don't want your first picture to just show the shoes like that, because then they might just assume, there's no box. You might have it say new in box just like that, but they might not catch that because people are just looking for visuals. Now, after that first picture, you could see this is where I really used that acrylic shoe lift there to really get that nice diagonal going down in both directions. And then, I've got the front facing view, the back facing view, and then I've got pictures of the bottom of the shoe as well. You want to make sure that you show all of these things. And then I've got, the box, and then also the box label there. Now you can see this is a big size shoe for a woman. It's a size 12. So it's going to require, obviously, someone who's in need of that. But I could tell you, as someone who wears a size 15 shoe, that if you have a big shoe size, when you come across something and you like it, you're going to buy it if you have a big shoe size, because it's hard to find shoes in bigger sizes. Now, that's in terms of pictures, but I also want to show you something with regards to price. So what did I price it at? So I'm going to get back to you on the prices of those booties in just a few moments. I love being able to say booties and get away with it. But I'm going to talk to you about the price of another sale that just went through. This is $90 worth of vintage Walt Disney comic books. Most of these that you see here date back to the 1950s. I only have 10 cents a piece invested into each one of these issues, so a total of just a few bucks. So to be able to make a $90 sale off of these is really awesome. So in terms of the negotiation that took place, I had them listed at $110, and the person offered me $75. So I counter offered the person in the middle, which was $92.50, and then the person countered me back at $85. And so at that point, I had to make a decision. Am I just going to accept the 85? Am I going to risk that the person's going to walk away? But you got to remember, this is Disney, and there's a lot of people who will pay up big for Disney, especially vintage Disney, and especially big lots like these that are hard to find. So, if you just find one or two of these, you're not going to be able to make a lot of money off of them unless it's one of like the first issues or something like that. But if you get a lot of them, you could do well. Kind of like the Lone Ranger comic books that I talked to you about recently, some of those Western books. So what I did is I counter offered them at $89.99. Note, not $90. Taking that 1 cent off does help psychologically with the negotiation process. And I include a little message just to remind the person how much money, oops, don't want those to fall, just to remind the person how much money they are saving. And so let the person know, the most I'm willing to do is I could take $20 off of the price for you. And, maybe somewhere, subconsciously the person knows they're saving somewhere around that. But if you could give them a nice clean number like that, like, listen, you're saving $20, plus they feel like they're getting a little bit off. That's why I purposely, knew when I made that initial counter offer of $92.50 that I had that $2.50 to play with if he didn't take it and came back with me with something like $85. So this is all the psychology, the game, the dance that you have to go through sometimes. It's sometimes it's a fun thing. Sometimes it could be annoying to some people, but I don't mind. I have a lot of fun with it. I hope the little tips about the negotiation help you. And now let's get back to the booties. I priced it at $74.99, and I want to show you how I came to that determination. So we're going to do a little bit of analysis with regards to comps. So let's look at what this shoe has previously sold for. Now this is called the Black Tumbled Buff Goat. Cool name. You could see here the most that it has sold for in the last 60 days is $50. So anything green there means that it's sold. It also sold for $45, but shoe size is important. You could see here that was a size 9.5. The other one was a size 7. Much more common shoe sizes for women. But let's look over the past year. We'll do some Terapeak research, and you could see here that $50 sale is the highest one over the past year. There was one that was close to it at 48 with a size 8, but Let's see, is there anything that has to do with the size 12? No, we got a size 10. So nothing as high as the one we have. By the way, if you don't know how to do this, you want to go to the research tab in your Seller Hub, and that'll get you right over to Terapeak, and make sure there you select the last 365 days to get the past year's worth of data. But now let's take a look at what's currently on the market. All of these are things you need to do to check comps. And what we could see here is we have someone selling it low, but lo and behold, we have someone selling the exact size shoe that I'm selling. Vince Camuto, size 12M. I mean, even the 12M, I have it as an M, not a W. There it is. Same type of shoe to lead it off. Now let's take a look at what we've got in here. We're going to click on the listing. So I just tilted this to the side because I don't want to get the seller's name in here, and this is not personal to the seller. I don't even know the seller. I really just want to make an instructive point. So you can see up top, it says that this is new with box, but as I go and zoom in on the pictures, you're going to quickly see that there's no way it's new with box. Look at all the scratches on the shoe. Look at the discoloration on the bottom. You could see that it's like this light brown color. And in fact, you know, even as you go up top here, like by this zipper area, you could see there's some light discoloration there as well. So this is important for you to know as someone who's competing directly with this person, is that don't just assume that because they have it listed and described as a certain way that that's actually what it is. Go and look at the pictures, see if you have an advantage in some sense. Now, my conclusion in this situation, this person has priced it at $110 essentially, is that it is vastly overpriced. There's no way that is going to sell for that amount. It's just completely out of whack with all of the comps data. Not only that, it's not actually new. So now, does that mean that I then go in and list my shoes as $50 because that's the highest price that was there? No, I think you could raise it a bit because there's not any other ones on the market that are truly new like the ones that I have. That doesn't mean I price it at $110 though. Where would I price it? Somewhere in between that. So that's why I came to the price of $74.99 because it's not so far away from the $50 that it's not possible, and I don't necessarily expect to get the $75. I know I've priced it $25 above what the highest price is that it's sold. So that gives me wiggle room. That gives me negotiation room. I would be happy if I did get $50 out of it, but you know, if I could get some more, if I can negotiate a little bit, that now gives me the room to do so. But I'm certainly not going to price it at $100 because, again, it's just not consistent with this data at all. Not at all. We cannot cut Wonder Woman out of the poster or the buyer is going to be very upset, Pink Panther. My goodness, I've got a lot to teach this guy before he really knows the ropes, but he does like his DC comic book women, and if you don't know these characters, you definitely need to know them because they could put money in your pocket. This poster just sold for $19. It would have sold for more, but it does have some damage at the end, some residual tape. It's also not that old. It comes from 2008, but it is cool for having all of these female characters on one big giant poster. So I'll identify them for you from left to right. First one over here is Catwoman. Now you could tell that because you could see the cat right there. Down below is Oracle right next to her over here with the white hat. That's Zatanna. Now normally the hat is black, so that's one of the things to normally look for. Next to her, the blonde, is Black Canary. And then next to her, you're going to see Power Girl. Next to her, you're going to see Wonder Woman. There you go. You want to see her again? Wonder Woman right there in the middle. And then the blonde next to her is Supergirl. Then up top, you have got Vixen. On the bottom there, you have got Batwoman. And then you have got over here, we've got Poison Ivy. And you could tell that because she's got the ivy around her. And then next to her, you've got Harley Quinn. Now, you may be used to Harley Quinn looking a little bit different, but you could see she is holding the Harlequin mask there right on the bottom. So this is a foldable poster. So just going to fold this one up, put it behind one of those magazine bags and boards, and they're going to be on their way. What's that? Yeah, fine, you could help me with the tape. Oops, I almost forgot. One last thing about the booties. So the buyer's gonna come and see my shoes priced at $75, and if they're doing comparative shopping, they're gonna think, wow, these are actually new, and compared to that other person who has them priced at $110 and they're not even actually new, I'm saving $35 with this seller. And that increases the chance, by the way, that I'm gonna get the buy it now price, because people are more likely to jump on that buy it now price when they feel like they're getting a really amazing deal that they don't want somebody else to get, or if they really, really need it. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your comparison research, because that's the kind of thing that could really help you in terms of determining a final price. Now, one last point. I have told you in the past that I will not price my item lower than somebody else who has an item in worse condition. But there is an exception to that. And the exception to that is if that person has the item in worse condition and it's totally, their price is just completely off compared to the comps research, then I'll price it more in line with that using the psychological strategy I was just telling you about, hoping to kind of tap into the buyer's sense of feeling that they're getting an amazing deal. All right, so before I wrap up today, I want to cover a few questions that came in from today's subscriber of the day, none other than Julie Busby. Thanks so much, Julie, for all of your support here on this channel and in my Facebook group. So the first question that came in was, how am I right now with my goals for 2020 compared to 2019? One of the things that I wanted to do this year was to invest in higher grade comic books. I've shown some of those on the channel, showed them in the unboxing the other day, and obviously I wanted to complete some sales of those as well, and I've shown some of those in my what sold videos, and so I continue to do that. I'm happy with expanding my business into those really high-end certified graded comic books. Another goal that I had was I wanted to get to over 300 listings. That's going to seem laughable to a lot of people, but for me it's actually a big deal considering my full-time job and just all the other stuff I have going on with family, running the YouTube channel, trying to take care of Instagram, trying to run the Facebook group. Like, there's just so much stuff going on. I have people contacting me, messaging me all the time. Like, there's just so much stuff going on in my life. It's just crazy. Another big focus of mine has been the YouTube channel. A goal of mine this year was to multi-stream the YouTube videos to the Facebook groups. I invested in technology to do that, and I'm happy about how that is going. The other thing is that I've wanted to grow the channel. Obviously, I've been putting a lot of time into that. I'd like to hit 20,000 subscribers by the end of the year. At the rate that it's going, it's not going to get there if something doesn't change, which is one of the reasons why I decided to try to just do things a bit differently, because I just felt like if I was just continuing to go on the same path, I was just going to continue to get the same results. So based on all of your feedback, looks like people are liking the way the channel is headed, still trying to provide you good, helpful, useful information, but to just repackage it a little bit differently. Financially, last year my goal was to hit $10,000 in gross sales in 60 days, which I hit. And this year I wanted to try to expand that to $15,000 in gross sales in 60 days. I'm not quite there yet, but hopefully we'll hit that by the end of the year. We'll see. In terms of how the pandemic has affected my business, it has affected it in the sense of sourcing, so there's just been no sourcing really. I have just been focusing on working on getting inventory out of here. In terms of storage units, nope, haven't done that. That's been affected by the pandemic as well. And in terms of other ways to source, how things are changing in New York, stay tuned for tomorrow's video because that's going to be a big emphasis. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you at the next video, everyone. Take care. Daisy, you can't get the Mr. Man guy. You're not allowed up here. Put that away.